Cardinal Coffee. Morning, folks. We're up on the mountain, and this is the rare opportunity to introduce the whole crew. Everyone's here. So in front of or behind the camera, you will see all of these folks. I'm Eric Perkins. That's my brother, Jamie, over there. Sometimes all these guys get confused for the other brother. To the left of me, I got Jonathan Clausen, AKA Jono, Arnold Kleinrath, AKA Arlo, Jason Ellis, and Ray Jones. That's the crew. Thanks for joining us. We're gonna build a foundation today. All right, hey, this is AKA Beard Guy. This is AKA...
I don't want to hear it.
Florida Boy. Florida Boy.
No,
You have a nickname. Quit complaining. Is it on? Let's get going, Ray.
All right.
Action. So there's a couple things we have to do before we can lay the block, and that's number one, we have to find the corners of the house and mark them on the concrete footing. That hasn't happened yet, and we can't just make something up. We need an actual hard mark, like a nail in the concrete, to know where the corners are for every single corner. I'm setting these just outside the line so that our block can be on the line, and we're gonna use these nails to pull a string line back to the next opposing corner so that we lay those blocks square to the string line. So that's why we need one of these on every single corner. And number two is we need to shoot the height of the concrete, the elevation, because it could be off a little. It might be exactly right, it might not be. We need to find out, because if it's off a little bit, what we'll do is find an average and we'll make up the difference in the height of our block corners. We'll lay some of them a little taller than the others. That way when we get to the top of the block, we're perfect, even if the footings aren't.
It's tempting just to go ahead and mix up some mud and get going, right?
Yeah, let's do that.
But no, we're probably gonna spend about an hour getting these corners. So here we go. We got to start somewhere. Where are we gonna start?
We're gonna start on the longest one line we have, which is right
the
there.
longest, straightest reference line. See that there?
It's a fly fishing reel?
Yeah, we're gonna reel in a big one today. It's actually called a logging tape. It's the original logging tape. And actually, I bought this thing because the guy, I don't know his name, but the Essential Craftsman guy,
Yeah.
he did a video about using these tapes for construction. And the reason they're so handy is that they self-reel, you know? So
Let's go fishing.
what's wrong with that?
This one will start out pretty tight and go.
Yep, this one corner was a 1/4 inch high on the concrete. The rest of them were within an eighth, which is great.
All right, so here's what I'm thinking. We've got this back line, just like our initial reference line. I think we need to go ahead and get our big square marked, like with diagonals, and then just work
Pull
all
off of that.
Work all the little bits out after that.
It's your show, bud. Let's just do that.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
I always watch everything Arlo's doing because it might be a pro tip, and I think this one might be. He's marking out the bond for the first course of block because you don't have any reference like a row of block below. So that way you get your spacing right the first shot, and we get our corners oriented the right way so that we don't end up running to another corner and have to put a half block in. So you could draw this out on your plan.
The name's Bond. Yeah. James Bond.
Arlo Bond.
Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Cutting a foot.
All right, so we're going 31.
Yeah, right there.
Mud!
That's it.
Mud!
Yeah, what he said.
Start banging on the board. So wait, have we done a diagonal? No, we haven't yet?
Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Shorten up a little bit. Okay, I feel pretty good about that. Okay, let's strike this end right here. That should be it.
We just realized this is the first crawl space we've ever done on the channel, like on a complete build series. And we're gonna do this different than the basement. The basement, we set up these lead poles that we hook string lines on at 8-inch increments. Not here. We're actually gonna lay up block corners that will become our place to hook our string line, like our lead lines. So we're just talking about, man, we should time lapse us laying some corners up. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
We're such nerds, like time-lapsing laying block corners. Wow, that sounds amazing. YouTube gold. Well, it might be. There's 1 5-gallon full. We're gonna call that 3/4?
Yeah.
1 3/4. Ray, what's 1 3/4 times 3? 4 3/4 5-gallon buckets of sand,
I
bud.
just can't get
We're gonna do 2 bags at once, though. So
We are?
2 bags at once.
dude,
Oh,
we're
I
gonna
don't
roll
know.
this thing out, boys.
I don't know about
We're gonna
that.
build
dude.
this. 2 bags, 50 scoops.
Oh my gosh, 50 scoops. It's come to our knowledge here that Jamie's family wants to get a cat for Christmas.
For Christmas.
Bro,
Yeah.
you are making a huge mistake.
I don't know. How come?
Because cats suck. No, I don't get me wrong. I like cats, but dude,
Sounds like you love them.
no, you're gonna be miserable. Changing cat litter, they're nasty, they scratch. Yeah,
Okay.
dog.
Dog?
Dog.
What is going to happen?
I'm voting dog.
Dog.
What is going to happen when my kids, both of them, that ask for a cat, they open the box
Kids don't know what they want,
and they get a dog?
and you're gonna put your cat
Yeah,
in a
but-
box.
put a cat
Wait
in a
minute,
box?
let's rewind
Yeah.
here.
I mean, isn't a dog the exact opposite of a cat?
No, but dogs
I
are
mean-
fun. Dogs you can play with
Yeah,
and
you can
play
run
catch
around.
with and run around with, take them to the
Dude,
park.
no, look.
A cat you can't do
All right,
anything
I'm gonna
with.
cut this
Listen,
off.
my
Y'all
cat-
put your vote in on the
You don't know.
comments. Go cut
You don't
it
know
off.
my cat. My cat's going to play fetch.
Here's a good pro tip for what we're doing. The dirt in the middle is about 8 inches up from the footings, so pulling diagonals is kind of tricky unless you can hold your tape up 8 inches. Well, block's 8 inches, and we're just hooking on our block and then using the block to plumb down to the footing to make our marks, get everything squared up. I thought I was gonna get to lay the cornerstone, but Arlo got to do it.
That's the cornerstone.
No, see, he already laid up a corner.
Up, down, up, down. This is
There
like
we
a
go.
it's like a country song.
Oh, my back's killing me.
Oh, here we go already. His back hurts already. He hadn't even laid a block yet. We're in trouble.
Oh, I'm ready.
Come on, bro. You've been eating healthy and working out. You should be able to lay all this block by yourself. First block going down. I lied. Arlo's got like 40 laid already, but
he does.
the first block Eric's laid.
When you're laying your blocks to the string line, it's really tempting to go ahead and push it tight to the string, when actually that's a bad idea. Imagine that you put your block against the string, but you didn't realize that you pushed it out by a 1/16 of an inch. And then you go to your next block and you push it tight to the string, and then you accidentally push it out a 1/16 of an inch. Well, you can see if you repeated this several times, before long you would be pretty far off of your exact string line. So I leave about a 1/16 of an inch off of the line so that I know I'm not touching it. It's completely a little space, a gap in between my block and the string. So that's how you stay straight. And actually the little blocks are designed with a little offset, a little groove in the block, so that the string is actually outside of your actual dimension of the house. I'm using this little level. Actually, I cut this one out of a 4-foot level that got bent, but this part is still really good for laying block. I'm leveling the block side to side this direction, but my string line is basically taking care of the leveling in this direction. Sometimes you can skip a row without leveling, but to me it's so easy to just drop a level on it that I do it on every block.
If you don't, it may get lippy. Like some block will be sort of tipped in or out,
Yeah.
and it'll look bad.
We also have to say, blocks are not always square. You might level the top and think it's level, and then you might stick the level on the side. Well, I don't have a side level. And then you might realize it's out of level, and you just gotta pick, in
That's right.
between, just
Yeah.
kind of a little compromise, because they are not always square, both surfaces. So sometimes you just gotta do the best you can do. As a beginner block layer, you might wanna get every block perfect. And while that sounds nice, it might take you like 3 weeks to lay like 1 day's worth of block if you do that. So I'm not saying don't do a good job. That's not what I'm saying. But don't sweat just a minor imperfection in each one, because overall the wall can be mostly perfect while each block could have a little bit of offness.
You know
to
what
it.
I would say?
What?
If it's not perfect on this course, you'll make it up on
Okay,
the next course.
okay, let's-
You have like 3/8 of an inch on every row of play.
Let's say this. If you're on your last course of block, do a really good job.
Then yes.
Especially in the height, okay? Pull your string as tight as you could get it without, breaking the string on your last row, so that you get a nice flat top. That's probably the most important place to do a good job.
I want to say I pull these things so tight sometimes I'm worried I'm going to pull the top block off the wall. I think that matters.
You want it really tight. This is only 20 feet across, and I don't have any concerns about it sagging so much in 20 feet. What if it was 40 feet? I do have a concern.
It would sag.
Yeah.
In that case, I would set a block in the center, sight the string straight, and then put like a little piece of something to prop the string up.
Yeah.
So there is no sag.
Yeah. 40 feet. I don't know
Trigger.
if
Call that a trigger, I think.
that's what they call it?
I don't know. I just made that up.
Okay.
But it would, in essence, it would make the string line not sag over a really long run.
Yeah, gravity. I don't know.
I feel like we're on a roll here. Just keep telling us all about this.
Oh, well, okay. Let's see. We got mud, we got blocks, we got a string, lay it to the string. I don't know.
Yeah,
Did we already say all that?
Yeah.
I think we got it all.
This video is sponsored by Onnit. Thank you to Onnit. And if you're like me, you're looking to make the most out of your life every single day. And Onnit's pledge is to help you be the most fully developed person you can be in your body and in your life. Onnit has 3 words for you: total human optimization, THO. THO is a commitment to get strong in the places you're weak, become great in the places you're good, and shine a light on the stuff you need to look at. With Alpha Brain, you can maximize your life. Its clinically studied nootropic ingredients help support memory, mental speed, and flow state, which is that feeling of being in the zone. Being in the zone is great. That's the best feeling, but there's some other benefits I'm going to read here that are really great as well. It helps to aid in mental processing, like thinking things through. That's always good. It's also caffeine-free and gluten-free, which is great. It's not bad for you. Like too much caffeine can be bad for you. I've done that one before. And this is great. It supports exercise performance and concentration. And we really have to focus here because we're building a house all day while also directing and creating a video about building the house all day. So there's way more focus in our lives than I think maybe most people realize. It's important. Thanks again to Onnit for sponsoring this video. Use my link, onnit.com/Perkins, or my code Perkins at checkout to try Alpha Brain for free today or get 10% off your first order. That's onnit.com/Perkins. Thanks to Onnit for sponsoring this video, and let's get back to the work.
Now what I do when I set them in though, I'm actually trying to compress this butt joint mud a little bit. So I kind of come in angled like that, and then I kind of, as I set it, I press it into there to compress it and get it to squeeze. And that helps me from...
pats on the butt.
Yeah, a little patty pat there. And as I kind of get it leveled up, I hope my bubble got a bubble in it. I also definitely do some taps this direction to help set that
really
mud.
Helps to level the block too, if you didn't know.
Yeah, patting it around right there, bing, bang, bong.
And then
pretty good.
Swipe.
I always like to save this mud. You'd be
Swipe.
silly just to let it go. I'll just put it right there. I do both sides, catch that, any excess mud. Do a little slick that way. If you got any other little kind of bits hanging off right there, tappy tap tap, everybody's good. Swipe that off, you're good to do it again. If you like repetitive process, you might be good at laying block. You know, they ask you that in school, do you like repetitive processes? Because if you don't, then that'll help dictate what kind of career you should be in. I must have checked yes to the repetitive task box. I think I did.
I got so sidetracked listening to Jamie, I forgot I had mud on this row. So I gotta get that caught up. I like to laser eye this thing straight down when I set it. I'm lasering down this corner.
That's important.
You can set it pretty level to start with if you do that and right in the right spot. If you're not if you don't know where to look, who knows?
Yeah, and if you try to put down not flat to begin with.
Yeah, you're gonna be tapping, and it's gonna be too low.
Yeah, seriously.
So we're just talking about the cool part about being able to lay your own block, you know, besides the obvious. Cool part is, no, you can start the project whenever you want. We don't have to wait on anybody, which is great. We can just start building a foundation. And this isn't the only thing though. There are actually, a lot of people don't know, there's allowances in the code book for wood foundations. Did you know that?
I did not.
Like a pressure.
Ray, did you know that?
Yeah, there's code allowances for like a pea gravel footing, and then you lay pressure treated wood down as your foundation.
Come on.
Yeah, it's real.
For what, a shed?
No, a house.
A real house.
A real house.
I see you breathing a little heavy there, bub.
That first row sucks on the back. You're bent down below where you're standing,
Yeah.
laying the block. So once that's done, it's a lot easier. Hope Jamie's all right. He's been gone for a while. You know, real masons get ticked when you call them rows. They're courses. Seriously.
How many rows of this
No.
cement stuff
Yeah,
are we putting up?
Courses.
Yep.
So that's 8 feet. Our bond will end there. So this one needs to run through, and then we'll work that out on that corner, which way we flip the corner blocks.
Okay.
So we don't have to cut. The whole reason is so we don't have to cut more blocks than we need to.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter if there's a half block put in here. It's just more work. So if we can keep it all full blocks, including the turns around the corners, it's a lot faster, a lot easier. And it'll look better too.
Perfect.
Looks a little dry.
Yes, I'm not done yet.
All right, let's try it before I even touch it again. Oh yeah, look at that. Perfecto. Talk about this tricky bit of fitting the last block in a row, or a course, right? Not a row. All right, I'm gonna show you how much space I have here. Barely enough, 16 3/8. How wide is a block, or how long? This block should be 15 5/8. And so it's a nominal 16 inches. That leaves 3/8 of a gap for your mud. Now on the last block,
coming out nominal.
nominally. On the last block, you need 2 mortar joints. I'm gonna put my mud on the square end. And you might not think it matters, but I'll show you why I do it this way. There we go, not a ton of mud, because if I put too much, it's just gonna get raked off. Is that a word, raked? Okay, I'm gonna butt tight to this side and let it rub down that side. Now, I'm gonna work it back to this side, compressing the mud that I just put in there until it squeezes out a little bit. So I'm gonna pull this way while I beat the block down and try to push it tight as much as possible that way. And what that does is it makes my gap here about right. Now, some people are really good at doing this, and I'm gonna show you how they do it. Right here, slick out a little bit of mud and cut off a little bit of it so that you get like this. Now, if you're really good, oh, you didn't.
Hey, I'm gonna give you a little warning.
Man,
You've
yes.
already been going for 2 minutes.
That's no big deal. Do you know how much time that phone will record?
You're in charge, right?
You can put hours. All right, so people that are really good will do this. And then with the exception of that big mess there, thanks, Eric, you know, you can pretty carefully put it in there, and that's nice. You can repeat that process. But here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take advantage of this little void right there. You see that? Get a look at that. And you know, to start with, you can actually just plop some mud down in there.
Can't say plop.
Plop. And as I'm doing it, I'm really slinging it in there. Now, like I said, pro block layers, they're gonna poo-poo on this probably, but that's okay. Boom, I packed it full. Now, there's already mud coming out of the side here, and I'm just gonna smear it on there and kind of fill the part that's just missing. I know that doesn't look pretty. Again, in this case, pretty is not that important because it's all getting stucco. But I am sure that that joint is like 10 times stronger than any other joint, given that it's all packed in solid, and I'm not worried about it.
Hey, I tried to warn Jamie, but he went for 3 minutes, 15 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's a
That's
pretty good run right there. All I heard was
Oh, you were just talking about
yeah.
mudding one joint down
Yeah,
there.
I mean, it's whatever. You got to give people the info though. They want to know, you know, how do you do it? I'm sure he told everybody exactly.
Yeah.
And let's look at our little block job here. What you'll notice about it is it looks perfect. All of the joints are evenly spaced. There's no mud on the surface of the block. They're all perfectly level. And it looks amazing.
I think he has something to do with that too. I mean, look at his mudding of the block,
Yeah.
dude. It's like perfect.
Yeah.
No excess, no nothing else.
There's something we've learned about Jono is he's extremely OCD about some things. Like raking dirt is one of them. Mopping floors, he about broke my legs when I walked across the floor after he mopped it. And applying mud to the end of the blocks.
Yeah.
He's like to the millionth degree OCD about, you know, getting stuff perfect.
Perfection.
So, a lot of times I have to tell Jono to stop caring.
I don't think he cares about his hair though. Look at that thing today. Wow.
Remember how I was telling you about Jono?
Yeah.
Got a case in point right here. Look at this footing. See that?
Oh, I see it all right.
Wow. Here's a great question to get it going in the comments here, and I'm curious, what does everybody think as far as the number of blocks that a good block mason should be able to lay in one day? Leave your vote in the comments. I'm gonna say,
With or without filming?
yeah, that makes a big difference. I'm gonna say in one block layer, one helper, making your own mud between the two of you. I'm gonna say if you could lay 400 block, you'd be doing really good.
In a day?
Yeah, like if that's all you did. If
We'd be lucky if we lay 40.
well, we're filming it and we're not doing it every day. That's what I'm saying.
Jono says 18.
Yeah.
18.
That's what I'm saying. Leave a comment. I don't know.
Hey, 400 to me sounds like a lot. That'd be killing it.
I think somebody's gonna say like 1,000 is what I think. We're gonna find out in the comments. I think somebody will say 1,000 plus.
I actually know somebody that's laid like 1,000 blocks.
Yeah,
That's it.
One guy.
to lay 400.
I could lay about 400 when I was on a straight wall.
See, that was
when I
my
a
guess.
youngster.
So I was asking Arlo if he played any sports in high school. No, he said all he did was lay block instead. He's been laying blocks so long, you had to make your own block before you even laid it. They didn't even have it
For real?
pre-made. Yeah, him and his parents used to go out and make the block, and then he'd lay it.
That's intense.
That's
Chisel down the stones.
That's hardcore, bro. They were actually round. They weren't even square back then. They were round.
Did we really get stuck on the long wall?
I think we did. You know what they say? Only the best can handle this big one.
Is that what they say?
No, I'm just trying to make you feel better.
Oh yeah.
I think you got this, bro. I mean, we've killed all that. Look at, we've been crushing it, making all the mud. Our team, Ellis Perkins, is rocking it.
Team Perkins Ellis.
Yeah, whatever, same thing.
We got a loose batch of mud. Compliments of some wet sand at the bottom of the barrel. That's what Jason said anyway. So
Come on, bro, I'm right here.
Jason's behind the camera. So pro tip here, to get these blocks to stay up so they don't sink below, because this is the top row here, top course. So I don't want my blocks going all crazy. I'm gonna run the crossbars with mud. So that's my pro tip. If your mud's a little loose, just run all your crossbars and it will stand up way better.
Thanks for calling me out, bud. Appreciate that. I mixed 19 barrels of mud today. I make one little bit loose and he calls me out. Is that,
Dude!
Is that your trowel right there?
Dude, come on.
Hey, don't ever make fun of the mud guy, bro. See, Eric didn't understand that I had an alternative motive in that. So this is our last batch of the day. It's like 3:30, so I figured if I make it a little loose, he has to use more mud. We'll burn it up quicker
I'm right here.
and get out of
case
here.
you're wondering.
And you get out of here. So that was my pro tip for you.
Jamie got all his glory with the tips, and I gotta say, my best tip for anybody, and I say this on every video, is don't try to put the mud on the wall with it like that on your trowel. It's gonna just not work good. So what I do is you get your scoop, give it a plop, and then it magically sticks and it trowels out perfectly on the wall.
That's like going to. That's like what's the ice cream store where they have to turn it upside down and it doesn't fall out? Dairy Queen.
I don't eat ice cream, I don't know.
It's like Dairy Queen. They hold it upside down so it doesn't fall out.
Well, when your mortar is like Dairy Queen, you'll have a lot easier time laying your block. So I gotta say that every time. That's like my golden tip. And then the other golden tip is the pat. So when I set a block, Jamie kind of said this, you kind of nestle it in, and then right here, Jay, right on the back. I don't know why that just does.
Little baby on the butt tap.
It just really levels it without having to think much about it.
Well,
like,
of course. Who doesn't like a little tap on the
yeah,
backside?
see, look at that, pan down. So, I mean, it really does an amazing job for very little effort. And I only figured that out like a year ago after laying block for like 20 years. That's the sad part. Crawl space is a pretty versatile foundation, I think. It allows you to be able to move stuff around later pretty easily. Like if you want to move a drain line, move a bathroom, move a kitchen, move a sink, Whereas if you build on a slab, you're kind of stuck without doing a whole lot of extra work, like sawing the slab up. And it's also way less expensive than a basement. The main reason is we're not grouting this solid with concrete, then we're not pouring a slab in it, and then there's no French drain around it, there's no backfill, so it's pretty inexpensive, very flexible, quick to build. We're gonna be done building this thing, I think, today. So that's why this type of foundation was selected for this cabin. I'm gonna have to start drawing the vents on the plan. There's a lot of thinking going on right now.
Yeah.
I think just one right there. We got that corner there. We got that corner there.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Excuse me?
Nothing. I didn't say anything.
He just said, I think you're right.
Yeah, that's
That's what I heard.
No, that couldn't have been it.
Hey, here's something I like to do is after I run a few courses, I tighten this string. String stretches and it doesn't like pull back. Oh, crap, I knocked the block off the other end.
Come on, bro.
So every couple
Jones!
I check the, can you help me out on the other end? I'll pull this and get a little tighter, because if you just leave it and just keep moving it up, by the top it'll be.
Okay, so I guess we have to address the elephant in the room. What do you have in your head? How do Tex?
We got these from Sashco while we were in Colorado.
Yeah.
And the problem was, you can't put this in a suitcase, right?
Nope.
So what did we do?
The three of us morons wore them on the plane.
We
And
were
every
three-
single person in the whole entire airport was staring at us the whole way.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Some lady goes, "Hey, nice hat." That's code for you look like a freaking moron.
There it is, our first ever dueling crawl space doors.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna be sweet for the mechanicals though.
Just take your pick.
Either one.
However you're feeling. I have less to say when I'm tired.
Perfect.
Just, you need to interview me in the mornings. That'd be better. More pro tips in the mornings than late in the day.